So here I am. Welcome back to another one of my videos. I have to admit, this is pretty unnerving time to be sitting in front of a camera, but I felt like I just had to pull it out and start recording because this is really it's as real as it gets, you know. Right now I am waiting on a phone call or an email from my primary oncologist. I had a PET scan yesterday, and if you don't know what a PET scan is, make sure you look it up. But it's basically a test where they run radioactive sugar throughout your body, then put you through an MRI tube and see where the cancerous activity is. And then they compare your tests from months before to see if there is an increase in disease, in my case multiple myeloma, or a decrease. These days when you're waiting for these results are extremely stressful. I can't imagine doing this more often than I already do it. And I apologize, I'll probably be checking my phone throughout. But I just had to start talking. You know, this was one of the things that did help me throughout my process over the past 10.5 years. And I think that for any of you that are going through these types of tests or these types of stressful situations, you know, this may be of help. But, you know, for the past year, you know, I've been scarce. I've been out in Chicago. I was working on a friend of mine's book. That was terrible grammar, but you get the idea. She was writing a book, and I was helping out with some of the logistics and you know, some of her social media and things like that, just trying to help out. And while I was there, I had a relapse of multiple myeloma after I had some pain in my arm. Now, that pain in my arm turned into surgery, reconstructive surgery on my right shoulder, where they put a titanium rod right down the middle of my humerus that had snapped in half. It was a pathologic fracture. Which just means that the cancer and the chemo and the steroids just made my bones weak. And one day while I was playing with my dog, it just broke it in half. So they stabilized it with the titanium rod, screwed it in at the shoulder and at the elbow. And while they were giving me chemo, the first 4 rounds of chemo cycles did not work. So they had to switch up to a new form of chemo, and they were watching my arm the whole time. And then I started to get headaches, and to make a long story short, they found a rather large tumor in my head pushing on my brain and my sinuses. So it wasn't a brain tumor per se, but it was a tumor on my brain. I went through some serious radiation for that. And of course, you know, while they were in there looking at my tumor in my head, they happened to find that I had a broken neck. So another one of the vertebrae in my neck where the nerves connect was broken. So they had to radiate that as well. So I've had a relapse with cancer, systemic cancer, then I broke my arm, then I had a tumor on my head, and then I broke my neck. So, you know, things were kind of rough in Chicago. I didn't have a whole lot of friends there. And to be honest, when I got the pain in my head, I called my sister out because I thought maybe that was maybe the end for me. So my sister came out, and she helped me throughout an entire month of radiation and chemo and all that stuff. And we got me healthy enough to get back here to Massachusetts, where I'm in my new apartment. And, you know, while I was there, I was getting One Veda up and running. As you probably know, One Veda is a company that I started where I make handmade products in small batches, all natural, in every way possible, that we then give away to cancer patients for everyone that we sell. So we have a number of products. If you go to oneveda.com, oneveda.com, it's named after my dog who's sitting right here, Veda. And, you know, I was getting that up and running, and, you know, we're really pushing to get that happening here in Massachusetts as well. I really do believe that's my purpose in life, is to help as many cancer patients as I can. As you all know, I developed these products because there were none available on the market, so I was testing them on myself during chemo, and I still do that to this day. It's actually kind of comical, but you know, people have really been of great support, and cancer patients have loved it, obviously, because it soothes some of these side effects, and you know, people in general have been very supportive. So that's one of the things that I've really been trying to build up. Now, depending on the news that I get today from my doctor, you know, things could change, and you're actually watching this, which is so terrifying for me. If I get a call that's good news, and the chemo is working, and the PET scan is clearing up, then what I do is I continue what I'm doing. Right now I'm going to the gym 3 days a week. I'm trying to eat as healthy as I can. I'm trying to get my weight down, although, you know, I've done a pretty good job to this point, and I just keep trying to stay as healthy as I can, and then build up one Veda more and more. You know, we're making candles now, and we'll be selling those, and you know, just doing some really cool events with cancer patients to give away, you know, thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and that's really exciting for me. But if I get bad news, this will be the second form of chemo that did not work. Now, that is troublesome. Any cancer patient watching this knows that if you have two brand new forms of chemo that have failed, that's not usually a very good sign. So I'll have to prepare myself for perhaps another bone marrow transplant. And for those of you who've watched me, I've had 3. So I may be preparing for a 4th, and this one would also be from a donor. Or I may be doing some experimental immunotherapy. And, you know, there has to be a realization that that not everything is going to work all the time, and you know, you keep fighting, obviously, but you know, after 10.5 years, I'm kind of it's all gravy, you know. I'm kind of on I'm kind of on borrowed time, and I am grateful of every day that I have here on this planet, and I will continue to fight as hard as I can, and I hope that the cancer will cooperate. So I will definitely give you all an update after I get the results from my doctor. I haven't heard anything yet, so I will sign off. I want to wish all of you a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, you know, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all that stuff, and hope to see you all again very soon. And I hope it's on the good side of the phone call that I'm hoping to get shortly. Take care and be well.